Greetings folks, thanks for tuning in once again, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope this video finds you and yours well. Today we're going on a little hike and we're going to do a little cook. You might want to call it a hike and cook. As you can see, I've got my snowshoes on my back. Turns out I don't actually need them. That's great. Good thing they're not bulky, huh? Alright, well, it looks like the snow thawed a little bit since the last time I was here, and then we got some fresh snow, as you can see, in the last few nights. So let's maybe hike back to the last place I camped at, see if we can't scrounge some wood and get a good fire going. Let's go. So I got to the old campsite, ye old camp, and I found my my old fire pit here. Dug up the old wood, and that's gonna make a good base for me. Now, I'm actually gonna put on my snowshoes because there are some parts where I'm falling knee deep in. So I'm gonna get those on, and we're gonna hike into the bush here and find some wood. Hopefully, it's easier to find this time since the snow level is down a bit, and I'm able to actually see more wood, or more of the ground anyway, which bodes well for me. Okay, let us go harvest some wood. It's not significant wood by any means, but anything helps. And I'm not even picky about, really, I'm not even picky about getting dry wood right now. Because, once again, I'm confident I can just dry it out as I get a fire going. I've got some fire starter with me as per usual. No lighter, just a striker, but just as effective. You know, one thing I might consider doing, since I do plan to come back here, is maybe collect a bunch of wood or burnable material, well, wood, and stash it somewhere where the snow is not going to get at it, so I can find it later. And one way I can do that actually is poke it through into some trees, so that it's elevated and not going to get covered, and have it secure within some branches, and then come back to it later when there's significant snowfall. If I have time, I might consider doing that if I find some good pieces. There's some downed logs over here that I'm gonna check out. Once again, the reason why I would stow wood and not just harvest it when I come back is simply because there's not any dead standing, really. They all get, up here, they all get blown over by the wind and fall on the ground and get covered by snow, so there's not a whole lot. Alright, got some pieces here. Let's check them out. See the rabbit tracks here? I guess they're... No, I don't think we have snowshoe hare here. I think they are actually just rabbits. Stick. Now for this big mama. This is probably a tad big for what I need, but it might be a stashable piece. You know what you can do if you're low on tinder, or you don't really have any good bark to use for getting a fire going, you can always just try and find a way to catch these the sawdust when you're sawing the bigger stuff. Yeah, this thing's too big for what I want right now, but I think what I can do is have it close to the fire, because it's pretty wet, and maybe dry it out a touch and then stow it, because I think from this point on it's just going to be snowing, no more rain for up here. Could be wrong, but it might actually work and be a good resource for me next time I come up in a week or 2 weeks' time. This is a little more my size right here. Pretty wet though. Pretty waterlogged and wet. Now this is the size that I need. My bundle of sticks. Okay, I'm gonna start hauling this back to the fire pit, and I'm sure I can find actually a bunch more of this stuff near my camp, or near my camp. Well, as you can kind of see there, it's a good base at least, and then got the bundle of sticks that I showed you, and that should be good, at least to get it going. Maybe clear some of the snow off the base so it's not sucking up all the moisture, but I'm not too worried. I've got fire starter. And I've actually brought something a little different this time. I'll show you that in a minute. Oh. So I think I'm ready to go. What I've got here You know those little fire logs that you can buy from the store? Well, this is a mini one. Kind of cool. I've also got just some compressed board, and as always, a little bit of laundry lint. Now you might be saying to yourself, come on, that's easy. To which I would say, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely correct. There's no challenge here. Be careful not to inhale these fumes. There we go. It's also important not to start cooking until all this is burnt off. Right, let's get some of these sticks. You might also be saying to yourself, you may as well just bring gasoline, Nige. Hey, that's a great idea. Maybe next time I'll bring some lighter food or something. Nah. The reason why I bring this stuff is, well, it's obvious. It's a lot easier to get a fire going, but normally you see different parts of the world, they have easy access to birch bark, which essentially does the same thing. It's probably more effective than this stuff, since you can just spark on it and it'll ignite. Even when it's wet, apparently you can do that, or damp. Here, I suppose I could try and do that with cedar bark, but it's something I've never practiced, and maybe that's something I'll have to add to my repertoire. But for now, it's compressed board and this beautiful little starter log. Pretty cheap too. It's only a couple bucks. Totally worth it. But this fire's going now. fire is going pretty good now, so I'm just burning down the twigs and wood that I got there to get a good bed of coals. But man, I'm on cloud 9 right now. It's you can see the clouds there. I'm just above, I guess, the cloud line. It's beautiful. Absolutely stunning. That's Mount Baker in the distance, which means I can see the United States from here. Hello! 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 To all you in the States. Whoa! Whoa! Off with the snowshoes. Fire's going real good now. Got some good heat coming out of it. You know, if you're in the market for snowshoes, I would highly recommend not to get the type. Here, I'll show you. The type that have this sort of dealy, I guess in the back strap. It's incredibly frustrating to get on, especially when there's snow everywhere. It just doesn't seem to want to bend and hook onto this little nub or hook that's there very easily. So it's pretty frustrating putting these on, especially if you've got a heavy pack on and this thing comes undone like it often does, especially when you first get these new, and it doesn't have like a natural bend in the strap there. It just comes off when you're hiking, and snowshoe comes off and you don't even realize it, and you boot into the snow. And it's so annoying to put them back on with your pack. Either you take the pack off or you keep it on, whatever. But try and get the ones with the normal ratchet straps or whatever you want to call them. Other than that, it's a good brand and it's a good snowshoe. I got the bigger, I guess the bigger footprint, a bit bigger than the instructions recommend for my size, but that's because I'm going to have, more often than not, I'm going to have a pretty heavy pack with me, and it's done pretty good for me so far. Definitely a good investment for winter camping. Fire's almost ready. For lunch, I've got just a nice steak. That's gonna be good. So the coals are pretty much ready to go. Just kind of moving some of the burning stuff out of the way. Steak's still a little bit frozen. Had it sort of sitting in soya sauce. Oh yeah. That looks good. No steak spice this time, but it should still taste scrumptious. steak is done. Done. Bottoms up. Well done, just the way I like it. Cooked all the way through. Yum, yum, yum. Well, cheers. Let's have a taste. Wow. That is a good piece of meat. Yeah, I would absolutely prefer to be up here overnight, and maybe for a couple nights. But, you know, can't be camping every single weekend, as much as I would love that. This would be an awesome night for it. It's actually supposed to get down to probably close to -10 tonight. Clouds are supposed to dissipate completely. Yeah, I think I will definitely find a place to stash some of this wood. So next time I'm up here, it'll be a fairly easy task of just finding the wood cache and building the fire. That would be the one negative about this place. Not a whole lot of wood. If I ever wanted to do some sort of survival exercise or building natural shelters or anything like that, it would be quite the challenge. I'd pretty much be left with just making a bough bed. You know, it's like the spruce boughs, or I think these are hemlock. And then I guess using a tarp for my shelter, or for the roof. I've got to hurry a bit because I think I've got maybe an hour and a bit of sunlight left. I brought a headlamp, I believe, so I should be fine if it does go dark on me, but and it's not hard to get out of here. Well, I'm getting full. That's the thing with a nice big steak, is you get full pretty quickly. Get those meat sweats, huh? Get those meat sweats going. When I was in Austin, Texas, yeah, they do barbecue there. And I went to a place called Style Switch, and it was just something else. They you go up, you stand in line, you go up to this big black dude, and he's got these rubber gloves on, and he just puts his paw into a bin of pulled pork and grabs a handful and just slaps it right on your plate. There's like a bag, like a huge bag of bread, a loaf of bread. Grab a bunch of slices. They may as well just put the whole loaf on your tray, because the amount of food they give you, you're sweating profusely. But it's good. Southern barbecue. The only place we have that's anywhere close to that I know of here is a place called Memphis Blues. And I heard it's I mean, it's good to me, it's good. But I heard it's nothing compared to the stuff down south. And I didn't really notice all that much of a difference. But I'm sure people with a refined palate can tell you. Alright, I'm going to finish this off. I've got one more bite after this one. And then get stuff organized here. I'll check back with you in a bit. So here's all my wood here. So I got all my wood right here, and I think in here is where I want to stash it. Looks like there's well, it's easily accessible, which is key, and it looks like there's some good cover from the boughs and the tree, and looks like there's a place I can just wedge a bunch of pieces of wood so I can come back to it later. I've also got some of the pieces that I've used as a base that I'm gonna put in there as well. Once you have a good base, that's really half the battle in terms of fire. So it'll be good to stash those as well. And there we go. Cool. Next time all I'll need to do is harvest my wood from this spot right here. I'm not too worried about getting snow on it or anything. You can easily just knock all that stuff off. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's about it. The sun is about to set, darkness is about to fall, and my belly is satisfied. That was an excellent steak, an excellent cook, and a great hike. It certainly is nice to get some fresh air with you guys. Just soak it all in, eh? Well, I think I'm going to end it here. This was a fabulous hike and cook, and I can't wait for the next overnight. Totally looking forward to that. I'm hoping it's a multi-nighter. We'll see. I'll keep you guys updated for sure. Until next time, guys, take care of yourselves, and see you on the next one. Bye, guys.